I brought up the Ryan Harris case. Those children were 7 and 8. That shouldn't have to happen. But the painful thing that I'm about to tell you, that the prosecutor that took them little boys, she was a black mother. See, that's my point when I say that we have no accountability. To answer her question, the solution is integrity and honor. Got to be more than a slogan during election year.
Right.
It has to be for us all 365 days a year.
That's right.
And if we don't do that, we don't protect our children. And anybody that says there's a parent out there, it is your duty to make sure that your child and any other child have safe passage to become a mature young adult without any further hindrance. Peter said, not tomorrow, right now, today, you have the power within your grasp to do so.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't know if you all seen the movie The Atlanta Mothers about Wayne Lee.
Yes.
But I'm going to quote what the mother said at the end of the movie. She said, you wanted a black man, we gave you. You wanted black chief of police, we gave you. You wanted a black legislator, we gave you. But you were not black enough to protect our children. That's what the mother said, and that's what the mothers did in my situation. The mothers came out, full forth, grandmothers, aunts, everybody came out as my godmother stood there like a justice scale, balancing out. But you know what? I prayed for when I left prison. That I can meet other brothers like Peter, Jonathan Jackson, many others, my other brothers that I stood with me for all those years, out here on the streets doing what should have been done a long time ago. We should not walk away from our family. We should not walk away from our responsibility. We should not use excuses for doing that, because there's no excuse to walk away from your child.
Right.
And many of these children out here, they're crying out. They're doing crime. They're doing things they know they shouldn't do, but they had no guidance.
Right.
And we're trying to, and then you got the good church people who want to talk about this young lady that's struggling with 3 children here on her arm, standing on the corner, while you walk right past her. You won't even donate a dress to her. The guys talking about the young men that's holding the belts in their pants. You won't even offer them a suit. So you have these solutions that we have. Our situation can go away, but the number one thing we need is faith and love.
Absolutely.
If you have no faith in God, it is not going to work. But you have to have love for yourself. When you get up and look in the mirror, you have to see somebody you care about. Then you won't go out there and pull the trigger on him or her.
Right.
You won't rob him or her.
What was the question again?
Right. Her question was the solution to correct the process when you suspect judicial misconduct. If we hadn't answered that, let's go ahead and answer that. Then after that, we're going to take a break and come back with some more.
Right. Well, also, we want to understand the legal, it starts getting legal, the legal process. So judges have bonds to protect them against, protect the county, the circuit, the county, and the state, the city, the state, against their actions. So judges generally have a loyalty oath, oath of office, and then they have an insurance bond. And then when you're dealing with being made whole, you also want to remember the word indemnity. So certainly, there are infractions, violations of the law. So first of all, you need to know the law. So there are courses out there like howtowinnincourt.com. Just going to the law library, reading, applying yourself to understand law itself, the structure of law, the procedures. A lot of times they get you on the procedures. Okay, so that's one aspect, is understanding how to articulate and measure up, qualify up the violations, and then you would in turn let that judge know with legal filings back into the clerk office, filing a lawsuit, filing a complaint. You can go to the Solicitor General. They have, like in Georgia, they have the Judicial Qualifications Commission. So you have different states, it would be different offices.
We got the ARDC.
Right. They have accountability offices. The Bar Association itself, they have a bar number, so they have an oath, a bar oath that they take as well. They have to hold up to the Constitution of the United States government, the state, then their statutes and codes respective to their state. So when you can prove that they have violated those, then you write them up. education entities aware, and you file charges back
Hmm.
against them. That's how you deal with that. But the main thing is being involved in the legislative process.
Yes.
Let's remember that the
Yeah.
legislative body, what changed in Illinois was a law.
Mhm.
So what we have to do is we have to be in position to affect change at the legislative branch and make these infractions go away, hold the individuals
Right.
accountable, and make sure these things don't exist. We keep talking about our elected officials. Listen, the black elected officials in the United States had better get their behinds in order and start doing their job. The time of accepting these stay with cockroach Negroes
Hmm.
as leadership is over. You don't need your hams, your turkeys, your chickens, your sausage, your good words. You pop up when it's only time for an election and we go
I
outside
know
your
that's
office and
right.
it look like a garbage can.
Hmm.
That's unacceptable.
Mhm.
So do you even have an office in your district? Are you out explaining the necessities and the realities of commerce to your constituents? Do they understand about cooperative economics, doing business with each other, business ownership, home ownership, the importance of the education, and making sure the educational facility in that locality is equipped to maximize the intellectual properties of the constituency? If you're not doing that, then get out of office. Get them out of there.
And that's
Get them
what,
out of
and
there.
I'm glad you brought that because see, we have a lot of young voters now, progressive.
Hmm.
We have to make a way for them to assume those offices. If you done been in office 10, 15 years and you ain't never passed that baton to nobody, you don't need to be in there another moment.
Right.
We have to empower our children. What do we send them to school for? What do we give them our life experiences for at home before we even send them out the door to school, to church? We are not doing that. We have to start all the way at the ground level and come up. And they have to remove their fear. They have
Right.
fear just to go to school, just to play in the front yard. That's on us. They shouldn't have that.
Right.
We didn't have that. And until we make our own people accountable in our community, it's not going to change.
Absolutely.
And then we have to know that, hey, there is a God.
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily talking about nobody's religion. I'm saying there's a God.
Mhm.
Develop your spiritual relationship.
Right. Just know
And
that
watch it work.
whatever you believe, know that you didn't create
Yes,
yourself
exactly.
at the minimum.
And be true to the merits
Yes.
and principles of your belief system.
Mhm.
Yes.
See, stop faking the funk. That's what we're saying. Individual and collective responsibility. We play too much.
Yes.
We play around too much.
Yes.
As a whole, we playing too
And
much.
just like we sit here on this show,
Hmm.
them young people gonna see us when we walk out this door.
That's right.
Yes.
If you're not who you say you are, then once again, we have been a failure to them.
Absolutely.
What we see out there in them streets is a failure of their parents and other people who did not hold accountability.
Absolutely.
It's a real problem.
That's right.
Because without accountability, you can't do nothing.
That's true. That's true. We're going to stop right there. We have so many more questions. Tawanda, thank you so much for all of the great questions. We are going to follow up with those on the second segment. As we take our break, we have our music video highlight of the night featuring Von T
Go ahead.
and Ecor the Wolf with Enough, as well as some other messages from our sponsors. So stay tuned. Do not go away. We will be back with the second half of CEPTV Late Night Hype.
Me out of here.
Stepped under your movie to make.
So, Captain, it's like I was telling you, about that guy. We got to keep an eye on him. Something isn't right. We just need to keep an eye on him.
Oh, really?
Yes, Captain.
Thank you, Officer Ross.
I'm just doing my job to the fullest, Captain.
Burn it up! Mouth.
You want to deceive me, Cap?
Yeah, situation, man. There's a little shortage in the evidence room, right? And I'm a little suspicious about Officer Roberts. He's pointing fingers all of a sudden. Yeah, and the fingers are being pointed at you. I guess, man.
Yeah, right. We've been following this asshole for a minute now. We been know what he was up to.
Okay. Well, I want you to keep an eye on Roberts. Well, and watch that snitch, excuse me. All right, I'm supposed to use that in the office. We're gonna nab his ass later. All right, get back to work.
Copy that.
Hey. Hey, come look at this shit. Man, so what that?
See, I told you that's the right there. I know it's something in that box. That's it. I'm taking it up right now. That's what I told you.
Man, I'm running out of spots and people for you to hit. Ain't this enough?
If you know what's good for you, you're gonna keep on snitching to keep your ass out of prison.
Come on, man.
Shit, go on, man. Yeah, I'm saving your asshole.
Nah, that shit's suspect, bro.
Now, this is to take care of the rest of the stuff, the studio that you was talking about. And I just wanted to bank earlier, so. And this is for you. And this right here, just make sure you put this in the safe because it's for the missing.
Let's go. Hey. All right, come on, get up. Let's go. You know what this is about. Come on. Put those hands down. Hey, up. Turn around. Knees on the couch. Let's go.
You gotta be so wrong.
Get your ass down.
Man, we all legit, man.
Man, we all legit, man. Come on, what the fuck are you doing, man? Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about nothing. Let's go.
That's enough, nigga trippin', listen, all them niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep pushing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can ditch it. That's enough, nigga trippin', listen, all them niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep pushing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission. That's enough, nigga trippin', slippin', all them niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it. That's enough, nigga trippin', slippin', all them niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it. You know this shit is how you get your man shot. Never claim to be a gangster, but I keep that thing cut. Niggas switch up like a Tinder when the fans hit the block. All that snitching is enough, that's how you catch a red dot. This all shit is coming to the real and the fake. At the ground, see the schedule with the anchor, eat the cake. In this game, I'm the only individual. Keep my helmet on and always look at my peripheral. Keep my head on the swivel and looking for a swindler. Promoters that be checking your intentions, always sinister. Don't never trust a whole shit, don't like the shit that's simple. Don't never trust a nigga you don't know because I'm snitching ya. If that nigga talented, just you should go administer. I'm tired of that nigga that's ready to opposition, bro. It's full of hoes at the shows, you know, Pinocchio at the flows, you chose blows, enough with all of their woes. That's enough, nigga trippin', slippin', all them niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it.
Competition, that ain't my mission. No doubt in these stitches that be stitching these niggas, bitches be coming to get you. We coming to hit you for spitting the shit you was spitting to the feds. But my bread at your head, enough said. My opposition make me position myself to go step. Bombing over a post, getting the well, my wealth. Ambition, stay out of prison, live a living. That's my mission, efficient prevention. You gotta get it up, going in on that raw shit, block shit, whip shit, trap shit, snap shit. Shit, they get you clap quick. I'm handling business with candy, scamming and friends, fitting all the 4,000 work that will go wild. So keep your eyes wide, open for haters be high. Hoping to go all down, fall, but watch me ball. Some dudes be snitching cause they ain't got it, they ain't about it, been talking a lot. So it's up to sticks and kill.
That's enough, nigga trippin', slippin', all them niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition all the niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the opposition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it.
Been rapping for years and you still in that hood. Stuck petrified, call that nigga what? That is what? The niggas that you rolling with ain't no good. Should have got the niggas wondering when they stood. On the mic, ain't fucking with no stormy bitch, she a scam. If I'm calling up, rapping let me fail. Miscalculation, ego copping with the nail. Misinformation that equal prison with the sun. Street of luck, all our stitches need to stop. Sit on tall like green and cut, no time for thought, I want to talk. Chop up, you got the nerve to be at the top. But when you call the blood, a nigga with cool on the spray with good. I'm sick and tired of the same way. I want it now, I know what I take. I bring it back when I shake it back.
That's enough, nigga trippin', slippin', all the niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it. That's enough, nigga trippin', slippin', all the niggas snitching, ain't no competition. You keep wishing while I do addition. My ambition, keep the opposition in the composition. Staying out the prison is the mission, telling you can stitch it.
What do we have here? You know what they do to snitches in this department? You know what, Roberts? Your time is up. Well, now get his ass out here. So, get your ass up.
Gentlemen, can we agree that this is total BS? And I move that you release these gentlemen at once.
Agreed, ma'am. Murdoch, release these gentlemen.
Copy that, sir. This way.
That's it. Matthew, don't worry about nothing. Let's go.
Hey there, my name is LaShawn Smith, and I want to introduce you to CEPTV, which stands for Creatives, Entrepreneurs, and Entertainers at Play TV. It's an online streaming video network. I'll be interviewing the best and brightest African American leaders in business, culture, and entertainment. We will explore their ideas, visions, and goals for the future. CEPTV will also produce and showcase original African American films, radio, podcasts, and streaming video shows while we feature their creators. We will tell their stories from their perspectives. Do you want to tell your story on CEPTV? Contact us today at www.mycep.tv. And we are back. Thank you all so much for tuning in to CEPTV Late Night Hype. I am your hostess, LaShawn, the boisterous Patrice. And I hope that you got a chance to check out that video because it actually lines up with a lot that we have been talking about corruption in the law. And we actually are coming with some solutions tonight with my guests, Johnny Savory and Peter Brown. Thank you guys so much once again. This has been awesome. We have some great questions in the chat. So you guys see me looking down. I'm not being rude, but I'm actually taking questions. So if you want to go into the Facebook Live, that's where we're looking at the questions right now. So if you have any questions, we have this segment and one more segment to go. So we'll go through as many as we can. So where did we leave off, guys? Where did we want to pick up?
Question about how to respond. I definitely wanted to reiterate the loyalty oath of office, the insurance bond, meaning you can file a claim with the insurance company once you can prove that there has been some lawful violations. That's definitely one thing that you can do, and certainly filing back criminal charges against the operators that are doing illegal things. So here in the state of Georgia, we're finding when we do things like this, they're hiding the documentation. You can generally find the loyalty oath and oath of office. By law, Georgia law, they're to be in the, it just escaped my mind, in what's the probate court. They're to be in probate court. But you also the Secretary of State and of course the governor has to hold them as well because it's a liability issue. Okay, but when we're finding that the hindrance, right, the interference that goes on when they break the law. So with the foreclosure, for instance, there's a process where when you take out a mortgage, you facilitate the mortgage.
Please pay attention to this, y'all. This is some really important stuff. I remember, okay, we recapped this. I just got to put an emphasis on this. Please pay attention to this. Get out your pens and paper or make sure you review this part. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Thank you. When you facilitate a mortgage, keywords, in 3 days, generally, they securitize your mortgage and send it to the Mortgage Electronic Registration System, MERS. They put it in a portfolio and it's generally sold to a trust. Now, the mortgage and the note are part of a trust agreement. And when they separate them, it's called bifurcation, the separation of it. It, in law, destroys the transaction. So now it's no longer a mortgage transaction. This is not my opinion. This is their law, their rules. Then you have banks, servicers, some attorneys, generally servicers, property management companies. They pay to be a part of this association where they can pick out troubled transactions,
Property.
right? Yeah, properties, but transactions. And then they come after you. When you close, like here in Georgia, they'll have you sign a document called Waiver of Borrower's Rights. Now, you're happy, you saved your money, you got the property you like, you love the place, you're so happy to get it, you're not paying attention. The stack is about the size of a phone book, and you're just going through it.
Facts.
Listen, before you sign any mortgage transaction, and especially in the criminal mortgage state of Georgia, be sure to take 12 to 14 days and read through all that documentation, number one. Number two, under no circumstances do you sign the waiver of borrower's rights. You are waiving your rights. So refuse to waive any of your rights, okay? Because these are the areas where they set you up. And your real estate agent, your broker, your finance company, they may give you some resistance, but you do not have to resign away from any of your rights, okay? So now, in the process here in Georgia, you have a finance company, a servicer. You may have they get a law firm, one here in Georgia, McCullough Raymer, are noted actors in the mortgage fraud, illegal identity theft scheme of stealing houses in Georgia. When you have a warranty deed that states it is a special warranty deed or a limited warranty deed, that is a property that has what's called cloudy title. That means there was no clear exchange from the previous owner to the person who is now owning that property. Okay, there's been some mess, cloudiness in between that. You technically don't own that property. They don't own it to sell it to you. So when you go look at your warranty deed, if it says limited or special, you could possibly be in trouble. If that homeowner comes back with charges, they have every legal right to that house, and you have none. Now you have been lied to and defrauded by whoever sold you that transaction.
Now, let me ask you that. Now, I know that when people buy houses in a tax lien, or when people default on their taxes and somebody else comes and buys a house, the owner, the original owner, has up to 2 years to make right. But they also have to pay for any repairs that the new owner,
plus interest on the tax money.
okay. But they could still, if they came up with the money, they could still get that house back.
Absolutely.
Now, is that what would make it a
no
clouded title?
That's no clouded title. Is you own the home. You bought the home either brand new, you bought a previously occupied home, and the previous owner deeded it over to you regarding in the mortgage transaction. So it exchanged hands from them to you. Okay, that's how it should go. What we're doing, how it goes in this illegal identity theft mortgage fraud process here in Georgia, they come and say, we have the right to represent you because you signed that waiver of borrower's rights, making them feel that they are the attorney in fact for you, which you have the ability to change and correct at any time by law, by the way. And what they do is take your title and they say that they take you to magistrate. They'll say, we own this property and this person here owes us, right? Now they had nothing to do with the transaction. The house has gone through securitization. Generally in 3 years, the mortgage is, the trust is closed usually in 3 years, which means the house is paid for because the financial part of it has been satisfied.
Right.
Remember, they tore the mortgage up when they securitized it because they separated the note from the mortgage. It's no longer a mortgage. It goes into securitization. Now it's a security instrument. That's what the term of the transaction is now. It's no longer a mortgage. You destroyed the mortgage. This is, again, their rules. Okay. So then they come back. You have a little trouble. Maybe you're late or you have some difficulty making payments. They own it. Here in Georgia, they're going to jump on it. Many of the houses here in Georgia that we have knowledge of and are working with, they didn't even have a mortgage on a house and they still foreclosed on it.
Wow.
During the 2008 financial fraud issue with all of these mortgages, balloons and all this stuff, listen, you had people who had such messed up paperwork, they can't even prove that they gave them a mortgage in the first place.
Wow.
I mean, it goes from the wide scope. You have individuals who, when you, another thing, family, I'm sorry, you got me going all over the place. When you buy a house, you have a warranty deed. Read your warranty deed. And there's a process to accept your warranty deed. Okay, so you need to go through the process of accepting your warranty deed, paying the $10 for your warranty deed, filing it in a legal newspaper. So you're actually taking possession of that warranty deed. So these fraudulent processors, these fraudulent banks, these lawyers, these companies cannot come and steal your property. They will bring you into magistrate court in Georgia. And keep in mind, magistrate is not a judge. They are not a court of recording. Their bonding is only about $25,000 in Georgia. They will bring you in as a owner. You leave out the same day as a tenant. Now, this is the process here in Georgia. If you want to appeal it, you have to pay into the registry. That's extortion. And then you have to appeal it to Superior Court. Superior Court in Georgia most often always substantiates, approves, acknowledges, agrees with magistrate judge's ruling, saying that they give the processor, the management company, the lawyer, the imposter person who's acting like a lawyer. A lot of times they just real estate people, and they give them the writ of possession, saying they have the right to the property. So you may go for a couple of weeks, couple of months, a year or two, but they're still going to work together and get the more that your opposing party the house. They're going to put you out of your property.
This is a criminal circuit.
This is a criminal enterprise being orchestrated by the judges in violation of the law. The law is clear. The Constitution is clear. The state code is clear. The state statutes in Georgia, it says all title matters have to be heard in the Supreme Court. How is a non-judge, magistrate, a bar associate lawyer, and that's it, orchestrating a scheme to steal property as a judge, moving up to the Superior Court judge, which is a court of reporting, right? A court of equity, and they sign off on the minor court's ruling and then put a lawful homeowner out of their property as a tenant. And if you pay money into the registry, they take that and give it to the lawyers or the processors, or usually the lawyers that represent the opposing party. This is a criminal enterprise, just dealing with the theft of property that's going on right now. And now we're talking about a moratorium. We gonna, how many people are we gonna put out? Renters, but also homeowners. Mm-hmm. This is serious. This is theft of property. Our governor knows. Our attorney general knows. Everybody here knows. The Northern District prosecutor, they know. Everybody knows. What are you going to do about it?
Well, see, this is where we have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Solution, if the President of the United States said, hey, in the legislative body, Congress, so we have a moratorium. Okay, the money that was allocated during all those signs went to these banks, mortgage companies. You already been paid.
Right.
Because the moratorium, you have applied through their process to receive the money so you can keep your building, your properties running so people can live in it. Mm-hmm. Then how do you turn around and ask me for some money you know I don't have in the first place?
Right.
Hold your thought. Yeah. Since 1929, 2833, the United States has been in bankruptcy, and they are still in bankruptcy today. Money, what? Keep going.
We make it. We make the very money. Richest nation on the face of earth as far as a dollar.
Yes.
We have no excuse to treat our people the way we treat them. Period. We have no excuse for that. We can't. The laundry list of policies he just gave, the average person don't have the time or the energy or the knowledge to read it.
Right.
But last time I checked, I thought that's what elected officials were doing. Each one has in Illinois, in Chicago, we have a state rep, you got an alderman, you got a representative from the House. You got too many entities that's there to protect of the people, but you're not doing it.
Right.
So your bill's paid. Let's say you never stop getting them check. They ain't not only unemployment. And last time I checked, I seen something they did once. It said, we're going to lay off part of the government, and we're going to call those people non-essentials. You've heard that word a lot.
Yes.
Non-essential. Last time I checked, you don't want to prepare no food. Non-essential. You don't want to clean no toilets. Non-essential. You don't want to build no buildings, structure. Non-essential. So the people that are non-essential, if you're not paying them, who's doing the work? We have not, and I'm going to do it again, if we don't invoke accountability on every level of our government, then we're going to continue to get the same.
Right.
Just like wrongful conviction. Thank God that we have over, I believe we got like 80 innocence projects around the country.
Oh, wow.
As well as they're going outside of this nation. And that's what's needed. The movement has to be, everybody needs to be involved. People used to ask me when I go to speak in certain places, they say, Johnny, how did it make you feel to be wrongly convicted, taken and ripped from your family, from your community, from your classmates, and from everybody? And I thought about it. Let me tell you what the pandemic did for me. Nobody have to ask me that question. The pandemic placed people in prison in their own homes.
Yes.
Without excuse, without support, without anything to really help them. For the first time, they couldn't go to work, couldn't feed their family. Right now, we still have some starving, and then we have our legislators arguing and bickering about Should we give them 2,000 a month every month till it's over, or should we just give them a one time, 2 times? That's too much money. The people that's arguing are all millionaires.
Right. Absolutely.
So I find it shameful
Full retirement.
that, and then we
Living
have,
off of compound interest.
and then we have to jump over the wrong conviction. We have 15 states that offer no compensation for taking your life. We don't give you a dime. Just turn you loose. Okay, now you leave, you're gonna make your life. The moment you come out of prison, you're innocent. There shouldn't be no journey to
Right.
receive compensation.
Right. Absolutely.
It should be automatically given by the state. It should be automatically given by the city in which you came from. I shouldn't have to sue you for prosecuting misconduct. Because you know what you did.
Right.
And people ask me about the 13th Amendment. I know me and Peter talk about it a lot. Something about the 13th Amendment that I think a lot of people miss. It said no person should be held to involuntary servitude unless duly convicted. Most people don't know what the word duly means.
Okay.
Duly means fair.
Mm.
So everybody that have not been fairly convicted in the United States of America should be what? You should turn free.
Right.
We didn't hear you say that again.
Everybody that has not been duly convicted, you should let them go free because that's the law.
Right. Can you say that one more time, sir?
Everyone that has not been duly convicted, you should be turned loose by the governor in your state. And in case the president, if he's over the federal system. Because if you're sitting here looking at violations in front of you, we're talking about the evidence have been destroyed. We're talking about the evidence that have been hidden. We're talking about witnesses that they made perjure themselves. And then they committed subordination poisoning because if you are elected official or appointed official and you lie under oath, you just committed subordination poisoning. And the issues he's talking about, like in Illinois, we have the IDC. Those are people that reprimand the judges, lawyers. But we are not holding those people accountable.
Right.
We go into dinner engagements with it. We go into galas with it. We all happy about what?
The title.
See,
You serve us no purpose.
Right.
And see, we want to understand that the infractions, the violations,
Oh, God.
the injuries that are being occurred and received. This is a right and wrong issue.
Yes,
It may look like a black and white issue.
it's not.
It's a right and wrong
Period.
issue. We have our system so out of order. It's stepping all over the masses of the people in our country who are poor people, who are working class people, who are defenseless people. This is who they're injured. Now, like you just said, that's the law. So then if that's the law, how are people still being locked up? And we have full knowledge of it. We have the proof, we have the documentation. And there's a long, drawn out process to figure out this.
Or we even have DNA in some cases.
Look here.
Absolutely.
Now, you brought that up. It's my journey through the system in Illinois to give everybody the right to have DNA testing in that state. It took me 36 years to get it.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm saying it took me 36 years to give me something that you should automatically get. I went to certain extremes. I asked for FBI got something they call a brainwave scan. They got another thing they call the truth zone. Everything that could possibly free me, I was denied.
Wow.
But that did not stop me. That's where your faith kick in.
Yes.
You're going to have a lot of naysayers. You're going to have a lot of people that tell you, look here, just pray. This is. All you got to do is press on. Never relinquish the vision that God has given you. That's how this took place. You had a vision at some point in your life. We all have vision.
Yes.
We're here in order to help our young people make decisions better. We have to better promote them and be a better example for them.
Right.
And we have to begin to come together again because we're too separated. When you walk out your house in the morning, why are you angry?
Yes.
What you angry at me for? Why are you taking us out on the people in your home? We have to do better. We do not promote marriage anymore. We don't promote healthy relationships anymore. Now everybody can do whatever. Well, when you do whatever, the children suffer.
Yes.
You know, and we're fathers. That's why That's another reason I respect him. Because as a dad, he do his responsibility as a dad. I do mine. I don't make no excuses at all for not giving that little child the best life possible. I want to thank the people like Rodney Ellis in Texas. What he did for wrongful incarceration due to 3 people down there and with that Texas legislature was awesome. I want to thank Brian Stevenson. We all know who he is. Not only is civil rights attorney one of the best in the country in Alabama, but I'm telling you, the integrity is impeccable.
Right.
You know, there's many other people out here doing wonderful works. We don't gravitate.
Right.
We have to gravitate towards one another in order for this to change. But we can. And yes, we need all ethnicities to be involved. We're not here to separate you. We're here to bring you together. And I think that's what they showed me. They said people are not afraid of the dark. They're afraid of the light. But K. Hilda Brand said this, and I hope anyone that's going through this, listen at the point. So you can chain my hands, you can shackle my feet, you can throw me into a dark prison, but you cannot enslave my thinking because it's free. And the quote that Peter made earlier, I said, justice is a preventive measure to keep injustice from taking place. You can't do me wrong and then turn around and admit it 20 years later and call that justice with me.
Right.
You just took everything I had. How is that justice?
Right.
Not even by definition. And that's why I'm loving this right now. And I enjoy the fact that you're so conscious, being young. The brother that's on camera, conscious. We need more people conscientious to spread that love, that knowledge to everyone so it can take off and bloom just like a flower.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I really want everyone out in the listening audience to understand the seriousness, the danger of living in a society where those who enforce the law, who operate in the legal system, who operate in any employment area, the processing of the papers and the documents and the evidence, are violating the law. This is gravely serious and extremely dangerous. And it's your responsibility, each and every one of you out there listening, watching. It's your responsibility to understand what's going on and to get involved. With this pandemic and the Ahmaud Arbery, which is still coming up, his case should be coming up, I believe, in October. Breonna.
Yes.
Taylor, I believe.
Yes.
And then George Floyd, and the masses came out. Now, we're going to talk about who paid who and who was involved, was it orchestrated. I'm not going to get into that.
No.
What I'm going to talk about is the fact that there were people that came out all over the place, of all hues, all colors, and they were on one mission, demanded that y'all want to do something about this.
Right.
You want to do something about this.
Right.
Listen, the people hold the power.
Yes.
The people in power are not more powerful than the people.
No, you're not.
And that's what the people need to understand.
Yes.
You are the ones that are in control. So you can keep tap dancing and toe dancing and smiling to the buffoonery and your self-destruction and demise. Or you can take a stand up, get your vaginal or testicular fortitude, your Christian, your Muslim, or whatever your belief system is, your traditional African, drop your beads, burn some incense. Look here. Get some individual and personal responsibility and some integrity and some concern. Get a backbone and start standing up and addressing the issues that are affecting your family, your neighborhood, your community, and our greater society. None of these things will go on if we draw a line and say, this is it.
Yes.
And you cross this line, you gonna get the penalty for it.
And
it'll stop.
And all the graduates we have here from these high schools and colleges, we should be investing back in them.
Yes.
And you're not doing that.
And because of endowments.
Yes.
Endowments control the curriculum. So you guys are worried about critical race theory. If you have the money that is controlling the funding for your school, then the curriculum will start catering to what you want it to say. Because as long as, our counterparts or our oppressors or colonizers are the ones that are funding the schools, it's their thought processes that are going to be taught in the schools.
Yes. Indeed. And our school needs to look like university. They don't need to look like no jail.
Exactly.
When you go in there, you know, nothing is upgraded. Everything falling apart.
We need to teach things that we need to know about.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And not as a joke curriculum, like
No.
we see some of these African American studies and all that, please. So I do want to get a little more focused in again. What is the criteria? Why is it that our children, our African American children, don't meet the qualifications for an Amber Alert?
But once again, we have to take it back to, we know how Amber Alert took place, right?
From a child that got kidnapped, and then they made up legislation, and it
What's
became
that word they made it play?
legislation.
Mm.
Okay.
So who made the legislation? Now, last time I checked, Amber Alert does not have a race attached to it. It says,
I can't tell.
no, wait, watch me though.
Okay.
Remember we said that we had to bring it back to them.
Yes.
It said any child.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back to our community again. Our child's come up missing. Who you reporting it to? When the police don't listen to you, who you got to go report to? Why don't you go to the legislature?
Okay.
Why don't you go, the mothers and dads whose child is missing, what you sitting in front of? What you waiting on? Where's somebody to pick you up?
Right.
It's your job. God
It's
gave
your
you responsibility for that
Exactly.
child. You need to go up there to whoever your current legislator of your district, him or her, you need to bombard.
Activate the riot.
Yes.
And
we mean in a good sense.
Yeah.
Because
That's
some of y'all
what
out
I'm
there,
saying.
we know we got people that participate in these marches.
Yes.
You there to distract and destroy and make the other people look bad.
Right.
That's an intentional act.
Right.
I'm talking about before it even gets to a march, go up there and visit the person you voted for.
Absolutely.
And you outline it. You can go find people like me and people. You can't outline it, like Sawana, like Annette, many wonderful people out here that will help you PowerPoint your issue in, get you the help that you need. Lord knows I had a lot of people, great writers around me. One of them, my good friend, Gwen. Another one is Sandra. Wonderful people. You know what I mean? That I can write pretty good, but they can write even better.
Right.
See, I'm willing to let whoever wants to help me.
Right.
Because I'm asking for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and man, I use this one of the inspirations to me is my special friend HB. She has always listened. And my wonderful sister Felicia, and I have a sister, my sister out there waiting for me now, Heidi. God, our families grew up together, and she told me, she said, Johnny, my mama told me that most people like the graveyard. What's the graveyard? She said, they'll take all you have and give you nothing. And the graveyard produces nothing. So we better understand it's our responsibility to uphold those we love. And last time I checked, the Lord only left two commandments. He said, love God with all their heart and soul and love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes.
I'm scared to tell somebody to love me like you love yourself. Because if I'm looking at you and I don't like what I see, you know what I mean? So, no, look at it. The solution is not that difficult. They're looking for us to say something so addressing the politics of it.
Right.
It ain't really about the
It's
politics.
not about the politics.
But let's understand, though. Let's understand. The question was, Black children, it's because they don't fit the criteria.
Okay. And what does that mean?
The main reason is they don't fit the criteria. So the criteria that they have set, they just will tell you. Sometimes it's overt, covert, and sometimes it's just blatant. They don't fit the criteria.
But watch this here. Watch.
They literally tell
me though. When the criteria is this long, it says all the children missing. You got 24. Matter of fact, with children, they probably move in 12. Quick as they can once you know it. But when nobody is standing over your shoulder, demand.
Checks and
I
balances.
want to know where my child is. I need you to get up and move now. Or guess what? You won't be in office. I'll give you a good example. When Clarence Thomas was going, y'all know. Do you know what them women did? Because remember, there wasn't that many women in it or the house.
Right.
About 6 of them walked up there and told our inspector and the rest of them, you want to be an officer. And they unseated most of them.
Wow.
And that's the beginning of women taking that role. Now we see something that's very hurtful. We never seen women, mothers telling their children the way we see that. We never seen that. I mean, we never seen, children wasn't dying in our community. All this is 15, 20 years old.
Right.
The way it's happening, we have lost the cohesiveness. And I tell my sister Karen, she has what's the name of it? What's it say? A few good women.
Yes,
she said what you said. She's out there cleaning the community up, got a host of people rallying behind the sponsorship. But I learned this here. If you do not share a cup of flour, a cup of sugar, and an egg, you don't know your neighbor.
That's right. Oh, wow.
I know that's some people say, well, that's old. We don't do that anymore. That's why you don't know your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
You're not keeping the foundation.
You're not. The foundation has been, what Big Mama? What Granddaddy? Yes.
Grandma's ain't
Yes.
built the same.
Yes.
This generation, you know. So.
But we do have many wonderful young people like our man David Mann or something. And look at one of the most awesome people here today, who's a wonderful activist. Is help me with her name. She played Viola Davis. Right now, she's advocating for this young man called Julius Jones here in Oklahoma on death row, innocent. I'm still waiting for my organization to issue a letter to their supporters, so we can support this innocent man to come home.
I think I heard about Julius Jones on TikTok, I believe.
Well, watch this here. Watch what the NFL in Spain, the NFL last year, they took the people that we're talking about, Brianna, George, they were putting that on their helmets and on their shoes and on their clothes. We have so many entities out here now willing to help us.
Yes.
You're not used to it. We're talking about NFL owners. We're talking about NBA players who led the way, like LeBron James and many others, especially our brother, what's his name, Mark Jackson, have his own podcast. Willie D. We need to honor these brothers and sisters because they out there doing what you're doing right here. Matter of fact, we need to have a conference.
Yes. I'm down.
For these shows,
yes.
Whether we come to Atlanta one year, one thing I love about the Innocent Project, every year we have a conference. It's in a different state, in different city, every year.
Okay.
I watched how they were able to raise money, do what they do. Before that conference ended, another one has started. Why can't we do that here today and send our love and our blessings out? You all can hear us because by word of mouth is the fastest way to travel.
Absolutely.
You can't sit in your seat no more and say you don't know. You can contact me and Peter. You can contact our host just by looking at this show.
Yes.
There's no excuse for it. And we will get back with you. But I want you, before you contact me, think about what you're going to say before you say it. Don't write no long speech. One paragraph will let you get all you need in to start your journey.
Yes.
Let us help you. As Rem Jackson always said, help push before you need push help. But you need the help. And I want to empower young people.
Yes.
I want to get somewhere and sit on the beach and just relax for a moment. I've been on the journey for 44 years.
Yeah.
I'm not tired because he said, Johnny, come on, I need you now. Made arrangements and I came.
You did.
I will come again, but I need more young people like yourself, like my nephew. I'm going to call him back, my great nephew, one of the who's a business genius. But sometimes he allows himself to be overwhelmed. I function well under pressure.
Okay.
Last time I checked, a diamond do too.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot the pearl.
For folks like LA Pink and our co-founder
Yes.
Stone that are out in the street
Yes.
every day.
Shout outs to LA Pink.
When we say we patrol the community, we keep it safe.
Yes.
Doing service to the community. Listen, LA Pink will tell you kingdom blessings.
Mhm.
That's what
Mhm.
we read it. And basically, meet me in the street. She's about healing God.
That's
Okay.
it.
So she says she goes where God tells her.
Yes.
She does what God tells her. She's not listening, hearing, entertaining nothing
Mhm.
other than the will of God and being a servant, a vessel for His work to be done. You know, our good brother, co-founder, Brother Stone, you know, our other co-founder, I really passed away this year. But Brother Stone out in the street doing the work. So that's the thing. Individual responsibility, collective responsibility, and getting involved. You know, we're talking about these infractions, these violations of the law. You have to get involved.
Yes.
You can't sit back and go to traffic court or go to
Oh my
security or
God,
magistrate
come on.
and just allow these folks to run you over. And you're looking at the law, you're looking at the rules, you're understanding, articulating the procedures, and they're violating all of this. Oh no. You have to turn around and respond. You have to fight. You have to resist. You have to go after them. The whole acronym is do to them what they do to you. And so if they're attacking you, attack them. And that don't mean a physical, no. You take that
Match wits.
pen
Yes.
Mhm.
or that printer at that computer and you get those documents with those laws and you let them have it. Okay? You go after them that way. You make sure you do the procedural process to them.
Mhm.
Okay?
And follow their rules.
That's the key right there.
Mhm.
And I tell people the reason I'm out here
Mhm.
is therapy for me. I don't like to think about what I went through at all.
Mhm.
But I know God's blessing was upon me so I could go and complete the job. Once I learned that that was my calling. But
Oh my God,
it's therapy for me to
Ever.
help other people
Mhm.
because so many people have and things will help me. I cannot deny who I am, nor do I want to. We have to realize how blessed we are to be able to do what we're doing right here.
Right.
You know,
And I also want to offer everybody that, we were talking about the Amber Alert. They say that they say that it's all children.
Yeah.
But,
we know it's not.
Right. We don't qualify for it. But we do have a solution. Tawanda Graves has put together Bring Back Our Children, where she does highlights on social media to bring attention to those children who would not otherwise qualify for Amber Alert. And we are in affiliation with her on social media. So we promote the videos, we share. She is actually an admin on the CEPTV page. So her postings a lot of times go on the CEPTV page, but make sure you also follow Bring Back Our Children on social media so that you can be aware. You just never know. Like, the more people that see these children's faces, you just never know, if a child is being trafficked or anything. You may see them at a hotel and then you just never. Yes.
And what's amazing, we should have it posted in every high school.
Yes.
Every college, especially those that are related to us. We don't. And I keep saying the reason that they're not applying Amber is because we are not
putting the pressure. That's right. That's right.
The pressure on
and that's okay because we can do our own.
Here we come.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely.
Yes. It starts with what we're doing right now. We have CEPTV. And look, y'all, listen now. I got to give my dear sister a shout out.
Yes.
Y'all see her on here all the time. But sister ain't just intelligent. She beautiful in person, y'all. We sitting with her. I'm like right here. So I'm telling you, this real over here. Listen, this is primarily, a lot of times we do more music, entertainment based things of that nature. But she's taking the time to bring you all some serious information. So let's say, okay, let's pause for a second and let's sober up a little bit and keep track, pay attention to the reality of our situation, our conditions, what we are facing and dealing with in our own personal lives and our families and different things right now. Because this is not just something that we're experiencing. We know this is a situation. These are situations that are going on in this country relative to a lot of folk and certainly a lot of our folk. So we thank you all for pausing and listening
Yes.
And just giving an ear and giving some attention to it. And certainly, I hope you get something from it. But more importantly, I hope you all individually do something about it.
Yes.
In your life and wherever you are.
Right.
Articulate the issues and get involved. You don't have to sit back and just tolerate. I want you to understand that the bar associates, these judges, lawyers, these clerks, they do not have the control of law. They are not the controllers of the law. They are not the only force that can administer and orchestrate and operate in law. You can too. There's such a thing as pro se. You represent yourself.
Yes.
Pro se
Yes.
packet.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's the person that goes against you when the state is coming after? Prosecutor.
Right.
But you look at the word is pro se shooter. Pay
Okay.
attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right there in front of you. You can defend yourself. You can defend your position. You must learn law.
Which is
Yeah.
why you
must
can
read.
sign over your power of attorney because
That's right.
you have that power, but
That's
you
right.
sign it over to someone
I'm
else.
gonna do this for one Atlanta really. I'm gonna just send my love out to T.I. and China
Yes.
and let you know that hey, stay faithful to each other. Hold your ranks. And if you need me or Peter, reach out to us.
Absolutely.
We have a wealth of knowledge that probably you don't know nothing about. People have come to me from all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to help some with everybody. And I mean those in the legislature, those in regular society. And I never thought I'd be in that position. But through the grace of God, I am.
Absolutely.
Because I can look at a situation and take it apart before you blink your eye.
Mm.
You know, and
Some
I
bad
thank
brothers
God
right
for
here.
that. Man. You know?
Absolutely.
So we're here to help you. If you need our help, because we need your support and your help.
Yes.
Keep doing what we're doing. And make no mistake about it.
We're going to have all of their links listed on YouTube, all social media, and we're going to try to get a post-production edited with some of these laws and statutes put in there. We'll attach a PowerPoint that references everything that we've talked about here tonight so that you can be empowered to learn how to navigate within that system to fight for your rights. So I have a question. My friend Vontae, that you've seen the video, he's actually our common bond is the fact that he is going through a discrimination case. Now, this is within the military. The military is kind of independent from United States law. They're kind of their own entity. At Fort Gordon, he is actually a major in the military, and a video of his went viral on World Star last year, 2020, and his superior officers told him to take the video down because they pretty much just didn't like it. So they went through a lot of back and forth. YouTube told them that they don't have jurisdiction. The military doesn't have jurisdiction over YouTube. It's an entertainment website. You can't tell me what to do. We're not going to take the video down. So what it came down to was the superior officers at the Fort Gordon base issued Vontae a Article 15, charged him with the Article 15, and they cited him on putting images out that are unbecoming of an officer and saying that he was making money. He wasn't making money off the video. It was just a viral situation that kind of happened. And, I just don't think it's fair that we as African Americans can fight and die for a country. You have an MRW program that celebrates all different genres of music. But when it comes to rap and hip hop, you have a soldier, a major in the military who got an Article 15 for his own music. But I can go overseas and I can fight and put my life on the line for you, but I can't express myself creatively. What do we do with stuff like that?
That's not. Who's the commander-in-chief?
The president?
Who?
The president.
One of his campaign slogans was what? That he gonna help restore integrity to the federal system.
Okay.
It's our duty to get behind your friend and request that Biden intervene as the commander-in-chief.
Okay.
We send a letter down the chain of command.
No, so fill out the White House petition.
Either or.
The 30-day petition and have 100,000 of the people who made the video go viral sign the petition. And then the White House has to answer.
Wonderful.
If you get 100,000 within 30 days, they have to address it.
Once again, we do not hold people accountable correctly.
Right.
You have to have the correct knowledge in order to deal with certain instances. But that's not a hard thing.
Okay.
Because once the country starts speaking, them voters are.
Yes, that's true. But we need help with that.
He's presently in litigation regarding it now.
He already received the Article 15, and basically they railroaded him. Like he had an attorney and everything, and yeah. So
Okay. We'll speak to you, my dear brother.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
We'll be speaking.
No,
with you.
we definitely can look. I mean, we have to hold this time. We know that under certain administrations, people that was in office turn the other cheek. We want to make sure you stay face to face with us. So we're gonna bring it to you face to face.
Right.
But we're gonna bring it to you with respect.
Yes.
But we're gonna use the same law that you brought to me. Because if you telling me you bringing me an article, that means everybody that signed off on it, you all should resign.
Right.
Oh man, did you just see Governor Cuomo resign?
Yes.
Did they bring? Oh no, they didn't. They didn't bring no charge.
Oh.
The innuendo of bringing charge.
Okay. Okay.
So that made the commander in chief of New York resign. Now we got an innocent case with my man with a video.
Right.
In conjunction with what constitutional amendment?
That's the
Which
thing.
one is it? Which one is it? Freedom of speech.
Don't give away too much.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
We'll be talking to you, my brother.
You're right. You're right. We can definitely help you.
Let's introduce them to a little bit of this concept called "We do to you what you do to us."
Yeah.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Let's do it.
Because we have people now that were players in office. We want Biden, we want Kamala Harris, we want his team to address these injustices that are taking place. And one of them that's on his radar is those in the military. Because we do realize those in the military have been mistreated, not respected, and continue to lose their life, lose their limbs. We're wrong for not giving them our support. And it's time for us to step up to the plate.
Yes.
And we be a nation of one people.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't agree with
the
issue, we have to respect the fact that individuals have signed up to go basically put their lives at risk to protect, our societal existence over here now. Even with all the societal violations that we're talking about, the injuries that people are incurring and suffering, you still have to give those that would stand up and be willing to sacrifice their life for you. Was high honor and respect. And they should definitely get a bunch of amenities. Certainly, they come back injured. I can't understand how come they don't have a house.
Right.
Why they don't have, $250,000, $300,000, $500,000. I mean, we print money, right? I mean, we just print it, right? So I mean, come on, it has a little cost associated to it, but we just print it, right? I mean, come on, we definitely need to take way better care of our military. That's a whole. This is what I'm saying when I talk about the judicial system, the legislative body, and then the fact that the issues we're speaking about. Listen, these are known issues. We're just not talking about it. These are known. This is not something that's hidden. Oh, I've never heard of that. Everybody's heard of everything we talked about tonight.
Yes.
But what are we going to do about it?
Yes.
And more important, right? And more importantly, what are we going to do to make the legislative body in your state, in DC? What is the Judiciary Committee in your state doing? Our judiciary here in the state of Georgia, they've fallen asleep. I've personally asked several members of the legislative branch here in the state of Georgia, what was in the last bill that you passed, that you agreed, said yes, and you signed off on this bill being passed? All of them said, I don't know what was in that bill.
They never did.
We just vote. We vote. We don't know. It's the committee members and a few people. The person who's sponsoring, they know, and they get the this one and that one. They get everybody and get enough, and we pass the bill. What? What kind of foolishness is this? This is the foolishness that we have because we're not engaging these individuals. Where you all are electing them. You're letting the political gang banging sway you from your individual responsibility. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. It's about this society. It's about the people first. Remember, it said of, for, and by the who to you, the people. You're the one that are in power. You're the ones that are in power. You're the ones that set the tone. The only way they can do this stuff is because you're allowing them to do it.
Right.
And if it's not happening to you, it's happening to somebody close to you, and it's soon going to be happening to you. So you might as well stand up.
Right.
You might as well take a stand. You might as well start addressing things that are going on. It's your individual responsibility. Stop being a punk and stand up and do something.
Absolutely.
If you can disrespect a woman, then you can definitely stand up on a real issue. Okay. If you can ride down the street and throw your food out the window, then you can definitely stand up and you can get some fortitude to stand up about a real issue. Okay. You down this for this your like dog, you know what I'm saying? Don't put it all on the line, cuz. Yeah, y'all all should definitely be standing up for some real issues. So let's stop playing. We play too much. We talk too much and we play too much. We have to put our foot down where the rubber meets the road, where the plow cuts a line, and get to work.
Absolutely.
Take a stand. Either it's gonna change or we're gonna have chaos. I mean, we have to decide what is it going to be. Are we a nation of laws or are we not? Are we a nation of double standard laws, or do we have one standard? Is right, or is wrong? Or is it all pressed up and we can't figure it out? But I'm over here when I want to, and you over there when I want. Look here. We have a responsibility to address this foolishness that's going on in this country across the board. And I'm charging everybody out there that's listening, that's watching, that somebody shared this with you. You have the responsibility to articulate the issues, the wrongful death issues, illegal foreclosure, mortgage fraud, wrongful incarceration, okay? The lack of proper tools for education, the conditions of the prison, okay? The judges, the lawyers, the clerks, okay? Your elected officials not standing up. Man, make all of it, deal with all of it. I'm talking about hold them all accountable. The cronyism, the nepotism, and the patronage that the elected officials will tell you, oh, well, you know, that's just how politics work. Well, it's wrong. It's just wrong. And now it has to be straightened out. That's all of our responsibility. Draw the line, set the standard, and say this is it. And if you cross it, we at you.
That's right. So we're going to take one more break. And when we come back, we are going to tell you how you can get involved with the Georgia Justice League or the Justice League. So be sure to stay tuned. We're going to take another commercial break. And this time we're going to enjoy N-word news and y'all hiring by the creators or those who brought us the ignorant noodles. So stay tuned for that. We're going to pay some more bills and we will be right back. CEPTV, Late Night Hype Live.
If you guys are watching on social media, we need you to do us a favor and please share the live. CEPTV is changing and rearranging and all that great stuff. So just go to mycep.tv. And of course, you can still see a lot of the content on Roku, but of course, go to YouTube. You can see our archives of the events and things that we've been to and just making waves in the CEPTV mantra.
Who's next?
I'm Sean Smith, and this right here is handsome. Big Kurt right here, the beautiful Money Rudolph 2 times. I am that boy. CCB family, Quay baby with me. Ed Jones here. Georgia boy here. Knuckle Nate here with me. Hollywood, 40 up in the building. You have to be like a beast. You have to be a beast. That's the only way they respect you.
And now on to the y'all hiring segment. Major Keys Realty is a realtor in the Los Angeles area. She can hook you up with $1 million home, townhouse, and even condos. Whatever you need to rest your head at night, she'll get it for you. LA is a lot more expensive than most places, so I think $1 million home probably isn't that crazy to them. Down here in Georgia, $1 million home is amazing. But yeah, obviously it's not the budget. The minimum isn't $1 million. She can go lower. I don't know what the housing market looks like in LA, but I know it's expensive. So if you need help finding a home, hit her up. Also, another realtor. Adrian is another realtor in the Los Angeles area. She specializes in first-time buyers. And aside from helping you get a new home, she has her Instagram and TikTok where she explains the process, the tools, and the paperwork you need to move forward with your first time buying. So even if you aren't in the LA area and you just want to know what do you need to get started, go to her social media, check out her videos. She makes it fun. She does little dance. She tells you everything you know in a quick and easy way. Families, singles, extended family, all of you can find the right home with Adrian Son. Dr. White is a chiropractor out in Maryland. She helps with back pain, neck pain, accidents, headaches, and other issues with extremities and more. She's based in PG County. If you're from Maryland, you know what that means. But she accepts guests from all over. So if you're visiting anywhere out in the DMV and you just want to go check her out, hit her up. She's in PG, Maryland. I don't know the exact city, but I know it's in her. It's in her bio on Instagram. I believe it was Dr. Wolf's establishment. I think it's his overall practice, but she operates there. So hit her up, hit them up, hit up Dr. White, tell them who sent you. And last but not least, Angelique is loved by her cousin Jessica, who asked for her to be added here to this segment. It's her birthday yesterday. Friday was her birthday. This airs Monday. Friday was her birthday. Happy birthday, Angelique. She's also a pottery master. She can create all kinds of items from ashtrays to plates and bowls to big old vases. She even paints, so you can ask her to make it look pretty, so you don't have just random brown items. Go to her website to order something that she's already made, or to place a custom order. You can also learn from her at one of her workshops. Go to her Instagram page to find out when and where.
Yeah, happy birthday, Angelique. Yay, Leo season. But yeah, that's it. There's the news this week. See you guys next week. If you have a black business, hit me up so I can toss them in here. That's it. Bye.
Welcome, welcome. I am the car wash guru, owner of Luxury Wash, National Car Wash Day owner. Today we got 10 contestants that's going to be competing for $10,000. And the winner also will get to design, create their very own magazine. This is Wash Wars, so anything can happen. Let me introduce you to my shooter here, Sade. She will definitely be getting the cars wet, soaping, rinsing.
So it's only right they made me the shooter.
And I'm gonna introduce you to my muscle, crispy clean, just in case somebody got an issue.
I'm just here to make sure they don't.
So we got a shooter, we got muscle. Welcome to Wash Wars.
This your boy Peppy from the Franchise Wars, better known from growing up hip hop Atlanta. But you know, I came out to support, you know, because I see what's going on, and you know, I like what I see.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy $2 Fable, Bankhead Fable, D4L Fable. Yeah, I'm here to judge the contest round one. Ow! Y'all already know what it is when I'm in the house.
I got Officer Brown here today, and he's gonna show everybody what he's about.
I knew I wasn't gonna beat them first two. They was quicker than me. That last one, it was something about him. I saw the fear in his heart. I knew that was gonna be the one right there. So, I mean, he was nervous. Tonight he's going to gym. That's it.
I want to thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We have had a wonderful, delightful, informational, power pack show. And guess what? We could probably go on and on and on because there's so much to cover. We're going to bring our guests back. We're going to have them several times because we have so many things to cover. So many things are going on. So I'm so happy to be involved with this family now. I call them family because they really embraced me from day one. So Tawana, shouts out to you. Thank you so much for putting this thing together. And so we want to know if the people want to get in contact with you, if they have some cases and issues that they want to bring to you, how do they reach you?
On their website, information. Because I want to keep the show involved. I have to have more shows like this. So my information is shown within the show. And you can always go to my website, which is Savory Innocence.
Really bad.
That's all you need. SAVORY. SAVORY.INNOCENC.org.
And that is for the Innocence Project. Can you give us a brief synopsis or some summary of what that is all about?
It's really the Innocence Tour.
Tour, okay.
And I did that wrong because I should have said Savory, SAVORY.INNOCENCETOUR.org.
Okay.
Innocence Tour, the Savory Innocence Tour. Go to my website, visit it, and if you have family and friends that have suffered wrongful convictions, and you have a juvenile in custody, you need help, no matter where you're at in the country, you can, we're doing some updates on it, but you can contact this show, like I said. But the Innocence Tour is about a bus wrapped in the Bill of Rights, and the United States flag. And the stars of the flag are the faces of all the innocent children who have fallen victim, and some of those who are survivors. On the side of that road in the stripes are issues we want to address. Those 15 states who have not provided compensation for those who have been wrongfully incarcerated, DNA testing for all 50 states, and hold accountability for all our legislators and people in our community that's there to protect our human rights. Not so much about civil and constitutional rights as it is about human rights. The things that are happening right now that Peter described in the manner that he did, this is about human rights being violated. The World Court has deemed the city that I live in torture city USA because we have so many rogue people in law enforcement that was not only just putting people in prison wrongfully, but killing them also. And we were managed to get Commander John Burbs 5 years in prison for his role in leading those death squads. First time in history that has been done. Let's make history again today about us standing up with one another, doing the right thing for each other, and protecting our community. This is not about black and white, but this is about our human rights. All lives matter, to be truthful. Any infringement or oppression on anyone's rights, you're oppressing us all. And that's how you contact me through this show.
And we will definitely make sure that happens. So please do that. And Mr. Peter, tell us how we can get in contact with the
I'm going to follow it the same way. You need to contact our dear sister CEPTV
Yes.
and get the contact information.
Yes.
She will have it available for you for the street rumors. And through the street rumors, you can get in touch with me. And certainly my co-founder, Stone, and my president, L.A. Pink, are leading the charge. We also want to inform you that we do have a UN rep here that is stateside in the United States, engaging issues here, human rights issues. So that information can be made available if needed as well. But remember, Martin Luther King said, "Injustice anywhere." They didn't hear it. Injustice anywhere.
There's a threat to justice everywhere.
So it is important that you do your individual part. Stay aware, stay in tune, and more importantly, stay involved.
Absolutely. And so really quick, if you want to get in contact with Tawanda Graves, she's everything.
Yes.
She has so many titles, but she's an advocate for justice. You can get in contact with her through the CEPTV page or Bring Back Our Children, or just reach out to her. She is what she calls it is she's a media aggregator. So if there's cold cases or cases that kind of been swept up under the rug, this woman is strategic and smart, and she knows how to get things back rolling and then get the people involved like these gentlemen that can help bring everything back up to the surface. And shout out to Dr. Lady Shelley. She couldn't make it tonight, but I'm pretty sure we'll get together at some point. Charles Brown, who has been very instrumental in this chat.
We the people demand equal justice, Charles Brown.
Yes. And he has left his contact information in the chat, but you can also reach him through myself if you need to get into contact with anyone. I will definitely make sure that gets done. Ontario Robinson and Ned Jackson, thank you all. Miss L.A. Pink, I know y'all couldn't be here. I understand that different circumstances all happen, but it's okay because we have represented you all well tonight, and we're going to get you on a later show. So with that being said, thank you gentlemen so much.
So what I got to do is here. I
Yes.
got to send a shout out to my little daughter, who's my greatest inspiration. And her name is Nia, and it means purpose, and I love you. Daddy coming on his way home.
And we so serious, my daughter is named Mia too. Watch out.
Wow. How about that? Shout out to both Nias. We love you all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight to CEPTV. I know y'all wasn't expecting this much. I told y'all this was going to be a great show. We're going to still promote this after the fact to make sure this information gets out there. We're going to line it up with some post-production and get that PowerPoint attached to this so that you can be empowered with the laws that you may need to fight some injustices that you are facing. So again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Shout out to the sponsors. Make sure y'all stay tuned to the credits so you can hear my sister's song, Sky Emerald Sky with Skydiving. Thank y'all so much. Have a great night.
You know how I touch your boy. You know how I put my hands all over your body. You love it when I say your name. So come here and let's fly away. We can fly as high as you like. Let's fly away. We can fly as high as you like. Shit is crazy, first we fucking, now we love making. We out in public kissing, touching, man, it sucks waiting. I'm ready to lay it down, show you how I come on top. After I climax, keep going, it ain't no need to stop. I'm on your name like I'm begging for your attention. That the shit you do is cool, I'm just letting you know I'm with it. Your ride or die like I'm Bonnie, my cloud. Don't you forget it, my flight. Take off at 2, baby, sorry I didn't mention I'm gone. Let's take it slow, baby. You know you love the way I ride. You know, baby, I love when you are all inside of me.
I love the way that you touch me, yeah. You love the way that I fuck you. Let's fly away, take off in the shuttle. Skydive, now I'm buckled, we be cutting up. She leaking, dripping puddles. Look me in the eyes when I fuck you. Can I trust you? I just hope that you ain't bluffing. You'll never know it, even if I loved you. You ain't gotta tell me nothing. I don't even care if you're just slugging. Yeah, I won't put nobody above you. I just wanna know that you ain't out here dirty.
Pick up every call, but when I call you, just pick up. Let's not make this shit complicated. I know your daddy don't like me, I know your mama hate it. I know it's time that we race it, but ain't no time for wasting. You know I had you back then, and ain't no time for patience. We pull up diamond dancing, man, they hate to see it shine. They was hating way back then, but now I see it in their eyes. We fucking on the balcony, so TMZ won't be surprised. I'm soaking up the bed, push back my legs, your head between my thighs. Baby,